and welcome back to Sweet and Crafty. Mama Z's here. Today we have a super fun DIY video. Actually, this video got inspired by my childhood. So many years ago when I was in school, no, just kidding, not so far ago. I was a student not so far ago. There was a trend. So we would take our notebooks, because keep in mind, we didn't really have like fancy notebooks like you guys have now. And the covers were just like so boring, either white or gray or whatever. And what we would do to make our notebooks fancier, we would cut out different shapes and pictures and stickers, etc., and collage the cover with those different images. So today what I'm gonna do is transform this regular composition book into a brand new fancy notebook inspired by Disney Encanto. Let me show you all the supplies that we will need. As I showed you earlier, we will need notebook. Then I have some Encanto stickers and coloring books. I also have the actual sticker book, glue sticks, wide tape, scissors, ribbons of different colors and textures, designer papers with various backgrounds. And I also have a few sticky ribbons. And when I do any kind of DIY, I always like to protect my working space. And I think this is a perfect DIY for middle schoolers or high schoolers. And you can go with any kind of inspiration, your favorite movie, your favorite singer, your favorite animal, or you can combine them both. It doesn't have to be only one theme, it can be various themes. And make a custom notebook. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our DIY. So step number one would be to find the main backdrop that we are going to glue on top of the front cover. I have this book. This one is more for traveling. I do like this palm tree, so I may use this paper. And I also have this one with like different textures, different walls. Or maybe this one. This one kind of looks like a wall of the house, right? Okay, let's find both of them and then we are going to see which one would work better. Okay, so this one is beautiful and may work because it reminds me of the casa. And this one has palm trees, which is also really pretty, but I am gonna go with the wall background. When leveling the background paper, you can aim it in any kind of direction, sideways, vertical. I am gonna keep it horizontal. And I don't really like this black tape on the side, so when I'm going to cover the notebook, I'm gonna go over it. You technically can go ahead and change the back also, but I am just gonna show you how I used to do the front cover. I'm just gonna use my pencil and add some lines. You also need a ruler. Next, I'm cutting the paper by following the lines. I will need to do the same rounded edge on this side. Next, I'm taking my glue. You can either use a thin one, but depending on the size of the notebook, this notebook is medium size. I am going to be using thicker glue stick and literally just do this. Apply glue all over the front cover of the notebook. Next, I'm going to line up the edges. Looking good. And now, instead of applying glue right here, I'm gonna take my thinner glue stick and apply glue to the paper. This is why it's good to have your working space protected, because you don't want to get glue on your table. Try to avoid the bubbles. There we go. So backdrop is finished. Now we are going to put aside our notebook and we are going to choose the images that we want to collage on top of the front cover. So casa plays a huge part in the movie. This is why I'm definitely going to cut out the casa. And keep in mind that you don't really have to follow the lines to cut things out. You can also rip them, and I will show you how to do so. before cutting your image, you may want to line it up on the paper to see how and where you want it to be placed. I'm going to cut out the shape of the casa in a circular motion. There you go. Next, I am going to cut out Mirabel. I do have stickers, but I think I want specific images to be larger than the stickers. While cutting out Mirabel's image, I am leaving a little space, and I think this pink outline looks really pretty. Next, I found a picture of Antonio and his pet jaguar. Doing the same thing, I'm cutting out this image, but I'm leaving a little bit of blue space outline in between. So far we cut out 3 shapes and we are going to put them aside. Next, I'm going to use my tape and just randomly apply it in different areas. I like this one because it has flowers. I'm gonna go place it diagonally. Also going to use this one. That's it for these two, but we will be applying more ribbons and possibly more tapes in a little bit. Okay, now I am gonna place the shapes that I already cut out and see how I want them to go. So I will apply Mirabel a little higher. Casita gonna go right to the bottom. And talking about Antonio, I'm not going to be using the whole image, but I'm just gonna glue part of jaguar and Antonio right in the jaguar on top. Somewhat like that. Taking my smaller glue stick and gluing Mirabel first. You can apply glue just in the center. No need to apply glue to the edge of the picture. Placing Mirabel first. Next, Antonio, and I'm going to wrap around the part that we are not going to be showing. And Family Madrigal, Casa gonna go on top, just like that. Next, I want to add stickers of Luisa, Isabella, and Bruno. Shh, we don't talk about Bruno. But you can go ahead and choose any characters you prefer. Looking good so far. Okay, remember how I mentioned earlier that no need to cut out all the images, but instead you can also rip some. Let's see, I'm going to rip this page. I need these 2 leaves. So carefully, I'm just ripping them out. And now I want to apply them right here, but wait a minute, I already have the tape here. It's okay, you know what? We can always put the tape over again. Now let's go ahead and apply some glue. And that's why I told you don't put the glue all the way to the edges, because we can also lift them if we have to, like that. Instead of using the same tape as I used earlier, I'm going to use this tape because it's lighter and it has a very different pattern, so it's going to stand out. Keep coming back to this tape. I just love the flowers so much. Our Casa Madrigal totally needs a rainbow. And we do need to write down the name of the subject, so I'm going to use this sticker. Actually also has rainbow. There are other designs, but I'm gonna use this one because of the rainbow. And there is rainbow over Casa Madrigal. And I'm going to put it right here, and check this out. That's actually what I wanted. Mirabel is pointing on the subject. Okay, next I'm going to add some butterflies and hummingbirds. And more butterflies and more hummingbirds. And now is the tricky part. I am going to add the ribbons. I love the texture. This purple one, more like lavender, reminds me of Isabella. And I'm gonna use this sequin one. It's nice and green and it reminds me of Encanto in general. I'm going to put this one to the bottom. I can either use glue, but instead, to make sure it stays nice and safe, I'm going to use the glue gun, carefully applied because it is extremely hot. Applying glue with the glue gun to the bottom of the page. Don't wait too long and apply the sequin. Everything is nice and secure, but as you see, some of the areas like stickers or the ribbons still slightly coming out. This is when I'm gonna use the thick tape. Make sure that one piece of tape overlaps the other one so we don't have any gaps in between. And guess what? We are done. And if you're wondering about the space where you're supposed to put either your name or the subject, you can either use permanent marker, Sharpie, or you can type it before you tape it. Another thing that you can add, you can totally do collage on the back, and you can also do collage right here. Or maybe you can put a white piece of paper over it and make some separate notes. But I think this front cover is so much better, and I love the fact that you can customize literally anything you want. I love how unique it is. I love that nobody else will have the same cover as you. And you can get very, very creative decorating your notebook with any kind of theme. And that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below which theme shall I use to get inspired and to decorate our next notebook with. I do have one idea, but I would like to hear back from you. And also let me know if you like this kind of DIY and if this is something you would do for your notebooks. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye!